Dude, and welcome back to Hanging Out with the Dudes. I'm your host, PC, and we got another great show for you today. But as always, let's go around to the crew and see how they're doing, as I have my normal stutter. But, the main man from way out west, how are we doing today, sir?
You know what? I've said it before. I'll say it again. The Jets stink. Hello, folks. Welcome back to the show.
Wow. Fine words by, we're going to get to the Jets here in a little bit. But, Mr. K. Stelt, sir, how's it going? I saw you had a little bit of a hat or something. Are you trying to make a statement or something? Is that a 10-day contract? That might be against your policy. And
It was funny.
I was here early today.
You might make, yeah, that is true. That is true.
I was here early last week. Chiefs are using devil magic. Are the Republicans using devil magic? Are the Jayhawk football? Is the Jayhawk football team using devil magic? There's a lot of devil magic going on here. A lot of people that no one expected to win, all of a sudden end up winning. Well, I guess people expected the Chiefs to win, but during the whole game, I didn't expect them to win. Let's just say a winning week for teams that have red in their name. But other than that, I'm doing good.
Yeah. Yeah.
My life was the same it was last week.
We got the, speaking of the Devil Magic and the Kansas Jayhawks, that'll lead us right into our obvious first segment of NCAA football. We had another crazy week of some great wins, some great upsets. First, KU, for the love of God. We got on a roll here. Now let's continue momentum. Let's beat the number one BYU. Then let's have Shador come in and throw 3 interceptions to Kobe Bryant. Then wrap it up in the Big 12 and make it 6-6 and make a bowl game. K-Stel, it is possible. On a scale of 100% to 1%, what is the odds that you think Kansas will make a bowl this year?
I'm going to give it 20%, and here's why. If any other team in the Big 12 was in BYU's position, I think KU has a pretty good chance of going 6-0. Because I think Colorado has flaws. They are a good, talented team. Flaws. Like KU. KU is a good team that just has played bad and can't finish out games. Like they almost did. But BYU has something that nobody else has, which happened in the game yesterday. They have money. They have a lot of money. And I'm not going to come on here and say that officials rig games, but man, if there is an example of a game that just didn't look professional by an officiating crew, I'm not saying that they caused BYU to win. It was just bad overall. That BYU and Utah football officiating crew in the Big 12 made it very, very reasonable to make that case possible because that was unbelievable. Yeah. And I don't think that holding call was the reason. It was just a not fun game to watch, even though it should have been a fun game to watch.
Yeah, 100%.
Because the officials stank. They stank on both ends.
Yeah.
But I think. Now, I was joking that BYU pays their officials. They can't do that. They won't do that. But they do have a lot of money. Those Mormons have money. I think KU, if they get past BYU, yeah, they got a 95% chance to make a bowl game. But it's hard to play at BYU.
Yeah,
really
BYU
hard to play at
is
BYU.
going to be hard.
Soaking goes crazy there.
Yep, and Travis Hunter is really good for Colorado, even though they're coming into Arrowhead, I guess, which is technically in Missouri, so I don't know if you count it as a home game, kind of a neutral site.
They're playing better at Arrowhead, man. They play really good.
They're
at
playing
Arrowhead.
better. We'll still have to wait and see. Speaking of pretty big upsets, we had another huge one come. Where was it? At Ole Miss? Yeah, it was at Ole Miss. Ole Miss defeating.
No. It was
No, it was at Ole Miss against
Yes, it
Georgia.
was.
Yeah, 28-10.
Oh yes, I'm thinking of Alabama LSU.
Yeah, no, Jackson Dar had a good game. Had one pick, was all right. It is what it is. They get a huge stop. Georgia, I think the big question mark now is how good is Carson Beck actually? He's kind of had a really rough game here. They've lost 2 now, and the SEC is a huge jumbled mess right now at teams that, 1 loss and 2 loss. And, there's going to be a lot of teams that from the SEC are going to make it into this playoff. So it's going to be really interesting. Good win, Jackson Dart. Ole Miss only has Florida and Mississippi State left. So 2 winnable games for them going in with a 2-loss team could have. That might be a resume.
Those are must-wins.
Obviously must-wins, but games they should win.
Mississippi State stinks.
Yeah. And Florida hasn't been playing very well
Mississippi State beats them.
Ole Miss could have a shot at maybe making the playoff as like maybe a 9 seed, something like that, 10, something around that area. Another huge SEC game that actually ended up not being an upset. I guess, I don't know, would you count Death Valley at night? Is that a big enough advantage for LSU? I know we know the result, but like at the beginning, we all thought, if you go back and look at our picks, all of us picked LSU. Do we think that LSU had a better opportunity to win just because it's at home, and so we made them kind of more of a favorite? Because Alabama was kind of 2 losses, coming off. Did you think LSU maybe was a kind of a favorite in that instance?
They're mostly a favorite when they're at Death Valley. Yeah. I mean, it's a very tough place to go and win.
That's why they play games at home and away, is because it's better to play it at home.
Well, right, but was it? Obviously, if it plays at Alabama, it's a completely different story. But since Alabama coming off their huge loss last week, maybe they obviously they came out and killed them.
Even though they lost on the road, would we have picked them if it was at home?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Would you pick Alabama if it would have been Alabama this week? Knowing the result, obviously now you say yes. Obviously, if you didn't see the result, Alabama
that's
opened up
why.
BTA.
How am I supposed to? Yeah, probably because of that reasoning.
Yeah, Jalen Milroe played really well. It ended up being 42-13. Milroe, really good on the ground game. She actually had 4 rushing touchdowns. Huge on the ground. They ended up getting a nice win. If you had to pick the SEC teams, go look at the current standings right now, and you had to pick the teams that are going to make the college football playoff today, who would they be? How many and who would they be? I have my list ready. You guys can take a few minutes, and while they're looking for that answer, I've got a few more games we could talk about here. How about number 4, Miami, losing to the backup quarterback in Georgia Tech as they just ran it down their throat. Ended up being 28-23. Huge win for Georgia Tech. They beat Florida State at the very beginning of the year, but Florida State ended up being really trash. But Haynes King had a rushing touchdown. Jamal Hines had a rushing touchdown. Their defense played really well. Cam Ward still had 3 touchdowns, just not enough to overcome. It is what it is for those boys. Indiana continues to roll as they go 20-15 win over Big Blue Nation in Michigan. They're now 10-0 on the year. If you go look at the Big Ten, they've got spots 1, 2. I think it's specifically. I think it's 1, 2, 4. Where's this at? What's New April? They have 1, 2, 4, 5. Yeah, 1, 2, 4, and 5 are all Big Ten. So 4 of the top 5 are Big Ten schools at the new rankings. So big win for Indiana. They will play Ohio State here. I believe it's not next week, but it's the following week. They play them. Yep, the following week. Yep, they'll play them the following week. So that'll be a big matchup for the Big Ten. But if you guys had a little bit of chance to look for those SEC teams, who do you guys got going in?
Well, honestly, it's pretty funny. The first year of the 12-team playoff, it's pretty obvious who the national championship should be. This should be an Oregon-Ohio State Rose Bowl national championship like it used to be back in the day.
Yeah.
Bye, Kyle.
Kyle's gone.
This is a Big Ten Pac-12 matchup. This is hilarious.
Yeah, 100%. Do you see any SEC teams making it in? How many?
Oh, well, yeah, an SEC team will make it, obviously. They have to.
Oh, right, but...
Probably whoever... maybe just the team that wins it. I mean, it depends what happens the rest of the season, I guess, but I don't see 2 or 3 that are better than a whole bunch of other teams.
If we were gonna stop,
Notre Dame probably comes in
yeah, Notre Dame will
because
probably
they're as an independent, so they're probably almost guaranteed a spot. Indiana looks good, I guess.
Yeah,
They'll
as
probably
long as-
be up there, top 5.
yeah, they're ranked
Tennessee
fifth
might
right
work
now.
their way back into the top 5.
But you've got right now, if it was going to be done today, Texas, Tennessee, Alabama, Ole Miss, Georgia making it into the college football playoff. If it was done today,
Not even really. Like, you gotta wait till the ranking comes out tomorrow. Because this ranking doesn't consider.
this is the current ranking.
Yeah, but it doesn't consider the outcome of yesterday's games. Tomorrow's list.
Oh, okay.
This is last week's list. Projecting the games on the left.
Got you. Okay, yeah. So, will be really interesting here. I don't know where K-Stout went. So we can go over the picks from last week, and then once K-Stout gets back in here, we can do our current picks for the week. But just to go back over, here he is. He's right here. Perfect timing. Right back.
Wi-Fi cut out. Sorry, fellas.
Oh, no worries. Just gonna go over the picks for the last week. How we did. So I currently went 3-1 this last week. I had Kansas over Iowa State, BYU over Utah, Ole Miss over Georgia, but then I picked LSU, making my record go up to 17-23. P4 got a little bit of a skid, letting us back in the game a little bit as he went 1-3 this week. He ended up picking Iowa State, which was wrong. He picked BYU, which he was correct on. Then he picked Georgia to win, and they lost and did not cover the points, and also picked LSU. So 3-1, making his record 18-19. So coming back a little bit, but see how that goes. And then Mr. K-Stel had a good game as well. He went 2-2. He picked Kansas, as like I did. He picked Utah, but they covered the points. The BYU was -5, so they lost by 1. So Kyle gets the points there. Picked Georgia, and they lost. And then picked LSU, and they lost. So
At home, Goofy. Come
know.
on, guys.
I know.
Suck that tiger. I love Pat McAfee. I love Ben. What's the Ben shout out? Are we going to talk about Ben?
We can't talk about Ben. It's too much of an emotional burden on everybody. in the
Don't
sporting
let
world.
it burn.
Not heard about this.
No, let it
1
do.
second.
You haven't heard about Ben at all? You haven't
I
been
saw
watching
like a
any
picture
college
of a
football.
so
dog on a
deep.
barstool tweet.
You
It's
know
Kurt
I'm just
Herbstreit's
a
dog.
fool for you. You got me
Okay.
wrapped around your finger. I
He
love that
wasn't
song,
even that
dude.
good at
Captivated.
Ohio State.
Captivated all the audience.
There's not another better video of that one chick
The
going,
fucking
Nelson
goal,
Aguilar.
Like every single
Nelson
dog,
Aguilar.
like that's kind of the whole point of pets is like no one else cares about it but you, right?
No, okay.
Yes. I mean,
You shut up! You shut the hell up! You shut the hell up!
You can't like the other people's pets. No. Shout out Ben.
I love
Herbstreit,
Mouse, bro.
man.
I love Mouse.
Mouse
Shout
is
out,
dope.
Ben.
Hey Mouse, where you at?
Get Mouse in here, bro. Don't let it burn.
All
You
right.
guys have never. Yeah.
You ready for the picks here? Oh, great. Never mind. We got a straggler going off here.
That Nelson Aguilar video is so awesome. Where the chick's like, name like a major league professional sports athlete or whatever. And then just random chick just goes, Nelson Aguilar. And the girl's like, who? It's like, you don't know who Nelson Aguilar is? And then it like fades
into a video. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll have to wait and see on this. Yeah. The NCAA football season's going to be good. I don't know what's going on with K-Stel. I don't know what's going on with B4. But we're just sitting here, vibing, We can go over some more of these games. Let's go over the top AV25. Oregon sits at number 1. They are killing
What just
it.
happened, dude?
Oh, there it went. I don't know. My internet on my side is bugging out. Oregon is number 1. They're doing pretty well. Obviously 10-0. They have a pretty relatively easy schedule back. Wisconsin and Washington should be good for them to lead up to that rematch against Ohio State. Are you back?
No,
Based
I'm
up?
back. Here's the thing: is that we have 2 Wi-Fi's. One of them is for the phones, and then one of them is for bigger bandwidth stuff.
Yeah.
And it keeps switching to the phone one, and it just sucks. And
LV found Mouse too.
Mouse, what's up, homie?
Mouse.
Mouse. How many mice have? Look at that cat, bro.
He's such a dope cat. All right, you want to do your picks, Kyle? This week.
Let's go.
All right,
Let's go.
ready for the picks, P4? Mouse can help us out.
Yep.
All right, game 1. We've been talking about the Kingslayers a little bit. I've got Kansas at number 9, BYU. BYU minus 3.5 points. Let's start off with the non-biased guy first. Main man from way out west. Do you think the Cougars are going to tear the Jayhawks up more than 4 points? Or are you going to join the dark side a little bit and join the Midwest guys?
KU, BYU, their last game beat Utah.
You had to watch
That's
that
the
game
ga-
to
yeah,
understand
and
like
I
how
picked-
goofy it was.
Yes, goofball.
And I picked BYU that game, didn't I?
Yeah, but they looked awful.
I'm riding with BYU.
Might as well. I mean, it's not an awful take. They're good.
They're
Are
still
they?
undefeated. Yes, they're undefeated.
Here's the
Yes,
thing
they're still
about Big
good.
12 schools. Big 12 schools now without Texas and Oklahoma, it's like, yeah,
Think about Kansas. Keep betting against them. Eventually, you'll be right.
Hey, I bet with them last week and they won. So, K-Stella, are you gonna
And if I
believe
keep
in the
doing
Devil's
it,
magic?
eventually I'll be right.
Here's the thing about KU, and me and PC know this. They can beat any team on the schedule, and not just because it's like a game. It's because they have the talent to go out and beat them bad. They do. It's going to be really tough for them to go to BYU and beat them at BYU. It's going to be really tough. I'm going to pick KU in points just because they're my team. But I won't be surprised if KU loses this one in the fourth quarter again. I think they can do it. I think they want to get to a bowl game. I think they want to, make a positive season out of this one. They're going to come out guns a-blazing. Jeff Grimes has figured out how to get the offense rolling, which sucks because he's going to be here next season.
Yeah.
But what he did last game against one of the best defenses in college football in Iowa State, because they held teams to 15 points, what he did was special.
We'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be tough. BYU is a undefeated football team right now. They got lucky against Utah. I can't go against my boys. I just can't do it. I'm gonna pick Kansas to be the Kingslayers once again. They're gonna roll through. They're gonna take Colorado out next week, and then finish the season up, make a bowl, and make it an okay season after just an abysmal start to the year. I'm going to take Kansas as well. Game number 2. I've got another hometown team, but the line you might think I'm crazy, but this is the line that I saw earlier today, like 2 hours ago. It is number 24 Mizzou at South Carolina. South Carolina is favored 13.5 points.
Wow.
13.5 points at South Carolina. P4, are you going with the obvious decision and cheering on the Tigers with Herzing and all of them? Shout out our fantasy football league. But are you going to take that, or are you going to think that South Carolina is gonna put a whooping on the Tigers?
The Cox?
The good old Gamecocks. Cock stand strong.
Where is this game? I need to see the game cast. It's on Saturday, right? Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
Let's see, boys. All right, so I'm looking at Brady Cook, 7 touchdowns, 1 interception. Sellers,
He
9
hasn't played
touchdowns,
for a
4
while.
picks.
Brady
It's
Cook
gonna be
hasn't played.
Payne.
It's
It's
Drew
gonna be the
Pine.
backup. Pine. Yeah, sorry.
Pine, got you. All right. Nerlens Noel from Mizzou, 95 carries, 534 yards, 2 touchdowns. Ryan saying, South Carolina's on a skid. Ugh.
Yeah. But Mizzou has their backup quarterback in.
And they looked bad against
Yeah,
A&M.
they looked
But
really bad.
I would assume that backup played against UMass, right? Oh,
Nah.
South Carolina whooped A&M. Yeah, I'm going South Carolina.
South Carolina to cover all the points.
Yeah.
Kyle, you on the same boat?
I'm looking at a couple things right now. The thing is that South Carolina is such a fraudulent football team. But man, dude, Columbia, dude,
It's not
a
in
tough
Columbia.
place to
It's
win.
in South Carolina.
Yeah, Columbia, South Carolina.
Is it, South Carolina.
Yeah, they're both
Oh, I
Columbias,
didn't
you
even know
dork
that.
bag.
I thought it
you
was you
dork
trying to do
bag.
Mizzou. I didn't even know idea.
No. We call it Como. But it don't matter, bro, because Mizzou, I don't think they got it, dude. I just don't think the coaching's goofy. What's their coach's name? Drunkwitz or whatever? Dirky Doints? It's a goofy name. But he's just a guy that gets players. He doesn't like to hire the great coaches. Drew Pine is a goofball. Their defense has been garbage. I got South Carolina in points. Okay, points is tough. I want South Carolina. I don't want their points. Can I take that?
No, because we had that whole thing 4 weeks ago.
I know.
Where you guys
know.
were like, we're not playing that way, which is
It's
fine.
gonna drop. It's gonna drop. PC. It's gonna drop down to 7 or like 8.
This is the line that it is right now.
Whatever,
currently. Go
bro.
look at
Whatever.
ESPN.
South Carolina.
Go look
South
at
Carolina
ESPN.
points. South Carolina points.
I'm taking
Whatever.
Mizzou
South
just to
Carolina
smite
points.
you.
South.
I hope.
No, I know you are.
Mizzou
I know,
absolutely
bro.
Beats the
Because
living breaks off South Carolina.
I can't believe a KU fan would say that. I mean, like, what do you have against
Doesn't
the Cox?
even matter.
Like, straight
nothing.
up.
I have nothing against the Cox. I have things against you, Kyle, and the way you approach things. It's like you could just change the rules whenever you want.
I'm not trying to change the rules. I'm just upset that the points are so high.
Well, speaking of high points, the next game is a lot of high points as well, but maybe it's the other way around. It is number 5 Texas at Arkansas. Okay. Texas is minus 16.5 points at Arkansas when they're at home. Arkansas, not a very good football team. They're okay. They're gonna make a bowl this year, but they'll have to see how it goes. Where's this line at? It's right here. They're 5-4, 3-3 in the SEC. Texas only has that one loss. They looked really good the last 2 weeks. Before, who do you got here? Do you think the big thing obviously is points? Do you think Texas is going to beat Arkansas by more than 17 points?
Quinn Ewers looked good last week. And it's in Arkansas. There has been a couple upsets there. Texas looks good. Someone has to start making themselves in this conversation other than Oregon. So I'm going to take Texas.
Okay, Stell, are you taking the 17 points with Texas as P4 is, or are you going...
Where's this game at?
Wait,
Is this in
Arkansas.
Austin?
This is coming off a bye. I'm taking Arkansas on the points. I still think Texas is going to win.
It's
Where's
at Arkansas.
Austin? It's at Arkansas. Arkansas money line in points. I think Arkansas wins. See you, Texas. Spoil your season.
I think this is the game that
I think Arkansas can win
decides
this
Texas is going to be that team that competes for against Oregon. I think they're going to blow the brakes off Arkansas.
It's a
really
it's a
establish
bullish
themselves.
pick.
I'm
It is
going to pick
it is
Texas
bullish,
and
dude.
points, just
Yeah.
because I feel
Yeah.
I feel like Ewers is great. That whole team is clicking on. I mean, watch them play. I mean, Arkansas has had some serious problems this year. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm going to take Texas. Final game of the night. I kind of struggled finding kind of really key games this week. But this one's a huge one. It is number 7 Tennessee at number 3 Georgia. Georgia is a 9.5-point favorite. K-Stel, 9.5 points is a lot. Beating Tennessee by 10. You're kind of beating the brakes off of them.
What isn't Tennessee like number 1 right now in the SEC? I think they are.
They are, yeah, with Texas A&M.
And they're in Athens or they're in Knoxville.
Yes. Athens.
Yeah. Tennessee don't have a chance, dude. I'm sorry. Yeah, I got dogs and points. See, when Kirby Smart is still the coach there, he ain't losing in Athens.
Before you join the dog pound, or are you going to go towards more of a volunteer route?
That was their very first loss since, or other than Alabama. In the Kirby Smart era or something, right?
Yeah. It's their 5th loss because they've lost 4 times to Alabama.
What's the line?
9.5.
I'll take Tennessee in the points.
I'm going to join the dog pound and go and pick up the Georgia absolutely demolishing Tennessee's playoff dreams. All right, so we got that set up for this week. Speaking of football, let's go through our NFL weekly update as we do every week. We're going to start off with the Thursday night football game, which was the Bengals and the Ravens in an absolute classic. And talk about a back-and-forth game. Joey Burr had 4 touchdowns, 428 yards. Lamar had 4 touchdowns and 290 yards. Jamar Chase, 11 receptions, 264 yards and 3 touchdowns, 55 fantasy points, which was pretty crazy. Derrick Henry had a touchdown on the ground, and then the Baltimore Ravens had a slew of guys getting touchdowns, except for Zay Flowers. Go figure. But Mark Andrews had a good game. Tylan Wallace had a really crazy long reception. So Joey Burr can't quite get it done. They fall to 4-6, and then the Baltimore Ravens go up to 7-3 and being a real contender in the AFC. The early game today was an absolute poop fest. It was the Giants and the Panthers. We don't need to talk about it much. All that was cool was that it went to overtime and gave the German fans, I guess, a look of what kind of football is. I mean, it's 2 terrible teams playing against each other. So, it is what it is. But good win for the Panthers. They go to 3-7. Giants, man, it might be time to really actually finally move on from Daniel Jones. I don't know why you paid him all that money, but you decided to, and it is what it is. But bad teams actually having a good year or a good week this year. Good week this week would be the New England Patriots, who absolutely destroyed the Chicago Bears 19-3. Drake May had an okay game, 1 touchdown, 184 yards. He did all right. Stevenson had a decent game on the ground. It was the fumbles for the recoveries for the defense. For the Patriots to get that win. They are now 3-7 on the year, which will be, I mean, obviously there's a huge contest at the bottom of the leaderboard now, where people are fighting for that number 1 NFL draft pick spot, and 3-7 now, 2-8 with the Giants. We'll have to wait and see on that. Bears 4-5. You're having an okay year. You got to really try and see if you can make a push to the playoffs, especially in the NFC. But, that division's tough with the Lions, the Packers, and the Vikings. Then the Bills played the Colts and beat them 30-20. Josh Allen had 2 picks today, so not a really great game for him, but had 280 yards. Flacco had 3 picks. This was a turnover, session right here, man. It's 5 picks, passing between the 2 players, 2 teams. Bills end up getting the win, 30-20. They're 8-2. Again, another huge threat in the AFC. Obviously with the Chiefs and the Ravens. The Colts are 4-6. They've got a real problem over there. It's just, Joe Flacco's okay, but he's not your franchise guy. Anthony Richardson gave up on you 2 weeks ago, so they've got something going on in Indy that may need to be fixed. Who knows? It's probably going to be another okay year for Indianapolis, but not something that you're really looking forward to. The Saints had a big win, breaking their 7-game losing streak as they beat the Falcons in Kirk Change 20-17. Derek Carr had 2 touchdowns. Kirk only had 1 pick, so he was pretty bad today. But yeah, good win for the Saints. They stay out of the last spot in the NFL rankings, and the Falcons kind of fall a little bit, but they should be all right this year. The 49ers ended up beating the Buccaneers 23-20. Ricky Parcell had a really long reception there, and was a really cool. It's really cool sign to see him being really successful in the NFL, especially after getting getting robbed out in San Francisco, which really halted the beginning of his career. Him being back is really good. Speaking of guys to see good being back is Christian McCaffrey. He only had 13 carries for 39 yards, but seeing him back on the football field makes San Francisco dangerous again. Baker had 1 touchdown, only 116 yards. Nothing really to show for the Buccaneers, but the 49ers got a good win, making them 5-4 and making a real push for those playoffs. Then you had an absolute doozy of a game out in Washington as the Commanders lost 27-28 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Russell Wilson, man, we were talking crap on him about a few weeks ago. 3 touchdowns and 1 pick. Not a bad day. 195, so not crazy, but got the job done. Jaden Daniels, no touchdowns and no picks, 200 yards, an okay day. Good game on the ground for Austin.
Score in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, Austin Eckler ended up having 2 touchdowns today, so a good day for him. Najee had a touchdown, but this was a really physical, gruesome game. Came down to the last little bit on the 4th down play. It looked like they. I can't remember who made the catch there, which receiver that was, but he was right at the 4th down or right at the 1st down yard line, and where is this? It is
the touchdown.
No. When there is 4th down and they had the ball, and it was like a 4th down completion, but he was like a yard short of the
controversial call.
Yeah, to Zach Ertz. Yeah, we caught it in the middle of the field, Zach Ertz, and he was a yard short, which forced the game back into the Pittsburgh Steelers' hands to run the clock out. He was a yard short on 4th down. So that was it was kind of a controversial call, but if you look at it again on the replay, it does kind of look like he was stopped short. I don't know. Good win for the Steelers. They're 7-2, which, I mean, how much of a nonchalant are the Steelers always being 7-2 on the year? The Commanders fall to 7-3, but they're still playing really well, and Jaden Daniels continues to be a good quarterback, even if he didn't play well today. All right, the Vikings squeaked one out. Thank God the Jags suck, because Sam Darnold had 3 picks today, but Mac Jones, returned the favor with 2 of his own. This was just a sloppy mess. One of Mac Jones's picks was returned for a touchdown, and that's how they got their points. So it was a pretty awful game. Not much there to watch, but the Vikings stay at 7-2, and the Jaguars fall to 2-8. They find themselves being just as bad, which is pretty crazy. Nick Howard, moment of silence for these Tennessee Titans. Man, they just can't get it done. They're 2-7.
Honestly, today would be a day of celebration for him. Because
yeah.
They actually did something.
Will Levis actually played pretty okay. 2 touchdowns, 175 yards. Played all right. The Chargers are a good football team this year with that running back duo of J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards, and then obviously Herbert on at the quarterback position. They're 6-3 this year. I think I heard Mr. Howard was shaking coconuts in Hawaii right now. That's currently why he's not available, but I don't know. We'll keep you guys informed on him. Then we had a blowout. Thank goodness the Philadelphia Eagles go into Dallas and destroy them 34-6. Cowboys find themselves at 3-6 on the year, fighting with the bottom feeders. And it's always good to see the Cowboys be bad. The Eagles find themselves at 7-2. Jalen Hurts had a really good game. But then now we'll talk about the last two games. And I thought P4 could take over the honors of, or I guess, is this like it's not a celebration. It's not a. Is it officially over for the New York Jets on making the playoffs?
I mean, it's been over. This isn't. I mean, if we're just gonna keep doing it every week and go, oh my gosh, they still suck. Well, point is not gonna be a surprise. I mean, A-Rod looks old. Him and Devontae just kind of want to retire and be their famous people so they can start their fucking Pat McAfee type show podcast in a couple of years with their New York fucking thing. Brandon Marshall did the same thing when he retired. Look where he is now. He spent the last 2 years with the Jets just so he could get in that New York media. They didn't tackle. Breece Hall only had 10 carries. Garrett Wilson, 5 catches, 41 yards. He's always open. Braylon Allen only had 7 carries, so only ran the ball 17 times. Aaron was sacked 3 times for 23 yards. Kyler Murray was sacked once for 7 yards. It was a crazy fucking sack, though. Quincy Williams came off the edge and took Kyler's helmet off, but only got to him once. They ran the ball 32 times, 147 yards, 4.6 yards a clip, and 3 touchdowns. They only had 22 completions, but they averaged 12.1 a catch. The Jets, on the other hand, had the same amount, 22 completions, but they averaged 7 yards a catch. New York fumbles, lost 1. No interceptions, no touchdowns for A-Rod. One touchdown, no interceptions for Kyler. Also, no fumbles. So, yeah. What was the longest play? Long of 15, long of 44, long of 14, long of 14. So there you go. It's explosive plays and turnovers. That's how football games are won and lost. The Jets can't put together 4 quarters of good football. Jeff Ulbrich isn't even quite sure what you can challenge, what can't you challenge. Unprepared. It looks like a high school team because I was a part of a team that looks exactly like this. This reminds me of what I went through on Friday. They don't even know situations. Bad from top to bottom. Top to bottom. Horrific. So I don't even know if I'm going to look at mock drafts this year. They're probably going to fire Joe Douglas. Who knows with Sauce? I guess he sucks now. Whatever, I guess. Malachi Corley had a couple targets at least. Isaiah Davis had his first career catch, I believe. He might have had another one, but he had 1 target for 10 yards. It was a good play. Good athletes on the team. It's just can't call an offense. If I'm Ben Johnson, I'm staying away from this job, but it would be the only thing that would make me happy as a fan.
Yeah.
They cut to Woody out in the crowd. He's such a fucking clown. But we'll get into him.
Yeah, Jets, not so hot. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, it's pretty much over this year.
Hey, the new guy, the kicker who's just brought up from the practice squad, he's only been on the team for 2 days. Only guy who knew what was going on. So, before the team gets to him, he'll probably miss 3 field goals next week.
Probably.
But I think this is the game they flexed out next week, right? They're not in the Sunday night anymore. Yeah,
No.
They were going to play the Colts Sunday night.
Yeah.
But they flexed him out.
Yeah. Yep. So, Jets is what it is. Sorry, P4. Sorry it's not going your way. But guess who it is going? Who's wet? Kyle? Whose way is it going, Kyle?
Dude, it just... you know what is the Chiefs are just in that bucket of teams that have been through the history of sports that just can't lose. Now, P4, I'll tell you this, it may make you happy. I think that right now, the way the things are going for the Chiefs, wouldn't shock me if they lost a Super Bowl to like the Detroit Tigers or lost an AFC Championship game to the Houston Astros or not Houston Astros.
You
Houston
said Detroit
Texans.
Tigers and Houston Astros.
Baseball.
What is the probability of... I did see Passon tweet today. The Royals brass is meeting with Shohei or fucking Juan Soto.
I'll go over that because there is something really funny about that. I will go over just a little bit of MLB. Not a lot, a little bit. Okay, anyways, regardless, I will say this.
Hey,
the way the
somebody called Drew. Somebody called Drew.
Stop. The way the Chiefs season's going right now is ridiculous. Like if this happened to any other team, like if let's say the Pittsburgh Steelers were on this 6-year run the Chiefs were on, we'd hate the Steelers. But it's our team. What am I supposed to do? I can't bend the knee and go, you know what? I hate the Chiefs because they're doing well. I can't do that to my team. When they're the lowest of lows, I'm with them. When they're the highest of highs, I'm with them. But I'm going to call out the obvious because it's objective. It's objective.
No, with the Chiefs. What are you talking about?
It's objective. The Chiefs are
has a list of teams he'll be fair weather for.
Hold on, wait, stop. I'm talking now. The Chiefs right now have devil magic in their favors. They were supposed to lose today. I turned off the game because they were supposed to lose. They were supposed to lose.
Say I'm a flake.
And you could be a good Chiefs. You could be a.
He turned it off before the game was over.
Because they were supposed to lose. They were 31. The only way the Chiefs were going to win. No, stop it. The only way the Chiefs were going to win that game was the only way they won that game was at blocking the kick. There was no way Lutz was going to miss a 31-yard field goal. No way. There was not wind. There was nothing. It's a great stadium to make field goals in. The only way that happened was if someone didn't do their job, which that left guard and left tackle didn't do, and got Coughlin and all those dudes to go in there and block the punt kick. That's it. Now they have to... Who are they facing? The Bills? In Houston? Congrats. They're probably going to lose to the Bills. Hate to say it, Chiefs fans, they're going to lose to the Bills. Because that's what they do. I would be more upset if the Chiefs beat the Bills in regular season because I know that the way the offseason goes, that the Bills are supposed to win the regular season game and the Chiefs win the postseason game. That's what I want because it's always happened. Other than that, good job, Chiefs. Whatever. Good job. The special teams won today, even though they sucked. Because our punter, who was the third best in the league, apparently, I don't even know if there's that's a subjective stat, you would think, kicked it in the end zone and had a touchback, 4 times.
Not as bad as Butker
sometimes
kicking
they
it
ask
out of
them to
bounds.
do that.
I guess. Exactly. I mean, the special teams won. Sure. Who cares, dude? I mean, whatever. This idea that the Chiefs fans want a undefeated regular season and then to three-peat, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Can you temper your expectations, please? Unbelievable. I just want to win a Super Bowl. That's all the game is, right? Win the Super Bowl.
Chiefs 9-0.
So other than that, good win. They're 9-0. They're going to lose to the Bills. Mark my words, they're going to lose to the Bills.
I'm not a fair weather fan. I think they're going to go undefeated. I'm not fair weather though, because Kyle thinks they're going to lose. But we'll be done with
Bills.
We could be done with football here. So P4 maybe comes back into action. Probably not though, because he's not a basketball fan either. But that's okay, because we are going to still talk about the Duke Blue Devils and everybody going on in college basketball right now. Big highlights I've got for you is the biggest game at the beginning of the year was on Monday, and it was Gonzaga versus Baylor. If you went and looked at our preseason rankings, I was very high on Baylor. I thought Baylor was going to be really good. Kyle had Baylor pretty high too. And then what ends up happening is Gonzaga reminds us that it's not all about the transfer portal. It's about building and developing a program and making sure these guys stay. And that's exactly what you saw with Gonzaga.
And they're going to be really good.
They're going to be really good this year. It's going to be a very difficult team to beat. I thought everybody contributed in this game. Graham Ike got into foul trouble really early in the second half, and it was like, oh, okay, what's going to happen now? Early in the first half, excuse me, he had like 2 fouls with 10 minutes left. He had to go sit. And I was like, oh, geez. But then we had some guys that weren't even on my radar who I actually really loved playing. One of them was Braden Duff, the big white guy. He reminds me a lot of, guess what? Drew Timmy 2.0 coming right back at you with Braden Duff.
Oh, we hate Drew Timmy, bro. We hate Drew Timmy, bro.
This kid, Braden Duff, had 13 points. Great player. Another guy that I really liked was, of course, the white boy in the corner, Dusty Stroman. Coming off the bench, 4 for 6 on the 3-point line. Ended up with 15 points. Great job there. Hickman had some great time, but man, just Gonzaga is just going to be tough to beat. They've got to play a slew of hard competitive games in the non-conference part of their schedule because obviously they go play the WCC and they're going to run through that. So, but good win for Gonzaga. Really put them on everybody's national radar more than they ever were before the beginning of the season. Baylor got killed by Gonzaga, but then they had a great bounce back against Cal's Razorbacks. This team is just finding its stride. I think it's trying to find who is going to be their main scorer. Is it going to be Norchad or Mir? Is it going to be any of these other guys? And so Baylor's just got to figure that out. But good win against Cal in his debut. Is a Razorback at Razorback territory. It was a good game on Saturday. Another big loss that came to was actually in Kyle and I's both. Actually, it was in Kyle's 11th spot. And my 10th spot was Texas A&M losing to UCF at UCF without Mikey Williams, their best player.
But UCF is going to be a good school.
Huh?
Where'd I have A&M ranked?
I don't remember. Hold on, let me pull up real quick. I have the text message from you. Where is this thing? In Dudes in Sports. It might have to be found in a minute.
Spoiler alert, I
Didn't have him in your top 10 at all, huh? Go figure.
think so.
What an analyst right there.
I know
No
what
one
I'm
else.
talking about. That's why I just gotta sit here and control my fucking Vashon Pirate Dynasty touchdown. Oh no, he got crushed.
The best. Good win on UCF. Watch out. Everybody has always said the Big 12 is the best conference, and I think they're starting to prove it again this year with UCF being just their bottom.
They're the
tier
best
teams.
regular season conference by far.
They're gonna beat everybody. They're gonna beat each other up in the normal conference schedule. But big win for UCF, especially without Mikey. Watch out for UCF. I think they could be a real, not a threat in the Big 12 to be the winners, but like to be getting into be that sneaky team. Like being that 4 or even, as high as like 3 maybe, if they play really well. That'd be pretty nuts, but good win on them. And then the big game on Friday, KU escapes against North Carolina. It's finally good to see some bench players, man. Somebody on the bench contributing. At least a little bit. That's all that matters. It was in Fog Allen. KU doesn't lose in Fog. If it would have been at Chapel Hill, KU would have a loss right now. That's just personally what I believe. I believe it's the
best home court advantage in the nation.
They almost let it go. They were up 20 in the first half, looking great. And then Seth Trimble and Elliot Cadeau really showed up for North Carolina. RJ
and
Davis.
KU fouled a million times.
KU
fouled like everyone in the planet. Like it's like, what are you doing?
So many fouls. But, Kansas gets a good win. They have Michigan State here on Tuesday. And then they've got a few
Isn't that so crazy? They played 2 games and now they're just doing the Champions Classic.
Yep, that's how they're doing it now.
And then they have to go play Duke, man. It's gonna be.
Duke's
so good. Duke's so good, dude. They're so good.
Duke.
Cooper Flagg is such a freaking great player. Like, dude, yeah, P4. Like, I'm telling you right now, dude. Like P4, he knows Duke. But like me and PC have watched college basketball for a very, very long time. This Duke team is unreal.
They're really, really good.
Like,
I can't wait
I'm
to watch them
scared
play
of them.
actual competition.
If KU,
nice.
Kentucky on
if
Tuesday. Kentucky
I know,
on Tuesday.
I know, yeah, I
You
know.
don't have to
oh,
wait too
dude,
long.
and I don't get a
it.
game. Oh, dude, I'll be sitting there watching. I'll be like, this is awesome. I love the Champions Classic. It's some of the best basketball on the planet.
And then, Warford.
Warford
on Thursday.
Hey, they got some shooter.
9 a.m.
I-
Central Pacific time.
Oh,
I
my
will
God.
say-
Michigan State
I
is
will
fire.
say that KU. I saw Zeke. So Zeke was at the. I reffed a game at Haskell University. It's Indian Nations in Lawrence, Kansas. And Zeke was there. Zeke Mayo, this guy, came from South Dakota State. He's averaging, I believe, 20 points a game,
Hit 21 and
maybe 21. Pretty good player. I used to lock him up in high school. He only had like 2 against me. I'm just kidding. Which is funny because I told him I saw him after the game, and he was with all of his buddies, and I was like, "Hey, you guys know I used to lock this kid up in high school. He didn't have anything against me." And Zeke was like, "I actually had like 30 against your team," and I was like, "Yeah, I know, maybe because if you didn't shoot from the half court line every single time, he would literally just shoot from the half court line."
When we were already down by 72.
The reason why
I got one steal, and it made me the best player ever. One steal.
The reason,
and then he came back and dunked
it was
on
a
my
good.
bitch ass.
It was. He'd actually no, he never would dunk, but I did. Well, he was like my size in high school, and I said, dude, if this kid gets taller and he gets bigger, he's gonna be a really good player because he was shifty
that your little
and he
LeBron
could.
moment right there.
Yeah.
It was a little bit. But I would face guard him. I mean, I was that dick who face guarded him. Like he couldn't get the ball. You don't understand. He could not get the ball. If
scrappy player, yeah.
I was. That's what I was. Look,
we
I'm doing a podcast. I ref college basketball. I'm doing a podcast. Why do you think I'm here?
Gamesmanship, they call it.
I was a
need
scrappy
an expert
player.
pro in basketball who claims to lock
He
up
should-
Zeke Mayo in
he-
high school and refs
He never touched the ball.
college Division
Zeke,
II
listen to me. Zeke, you knew
in
it, bro.
Kansas. This is
You
our
never
expert
touched the
right
ball.
here.
You never touched the ball, bro. If you touched the ball, it was all over. Because if he touched the ball, he was shooting from the half court line, and it was going in because he was that good. And he's showing it right now because he's scoring 21 points at Kansas against a top 10 school. Because he's a good player. Other than that, Hunter Dickinson still needs to figure out how to hedge on a
I would
screen.
honestly, Flory Badunga on the floor makes the offense flow so much better than
Makes the
Dickinson
defense
does.
flow. Makes
Yeah.
the defense flow.
Yeah, I really like Flory. I think he's like my favorite player right now on Kansas. I'm a Dickinson kind of hater.
David
Not really.
Coit.
I'm glad he
David
plays well,
Coit.
but
David Coit. I know David Coit didn't score any points on Friday, but you will love David Coit.
He's had a tough start so far.
He's going to be a bench player. He's had 93. He had 94 threes in a season. That's a lot. That's a lot of freaking three-pointers.
That's a lot. Good win for KU. Tuesday, big games.
Big Tuesday. Big Tuesday.
Big Tuesday. But P4, I think there's a good UFC fight coming up this weekend.
Whoa. We're missing the biggest fight of all time on Friday.
Yeah, this upcoming week.
This Friday.
This Friday? Well. You're going to watch. You're going to actually watch Mike Tyson fight.
Why wouldn't you? Jake Paul?
Jake Paul?
Are you kidding me? It's going to be fake. It's the fakest thing I've ever heard of. Did you see their commercial?
It's a Friday night.
I want to
I'll
know.
be on my way to Chicago.
Bro. Chicago.
Deep
dish.
All right, how'd UFC go?
Claudia Silga, she just got signed to the UFC. She lost. She had a rough time. She still has a lot to learn. I think she was rushing the UFC because she's like such a big name fighting in Poland that a lot of Polish UFC guys wanted her to be called up. So hopefully she's able to figure some stuff out. Trayshawn Gore, he got a first-round win. He did pretty good. Damone Blackshear, he got a performance of the night in his win in the very first round over Cody Stamann. This is a very good Apex card, by the way. Same thing for Charles Radke. He had a first round in the first minute win, TKO KO win. He got another performance of the night. Another KO was Izulis Zalskis dos Santos from Brazil. Continuing on, Denise Gomez, she wins against a ranked fighter in the women's strawweight division. Mansour Abdul Malik had another first round finish. Performance of the night for him. Jillian Robertson, she gets a win over Luana Pinheiro, moving up that strawweight division rankings. I'm not quite sure if they'll put her into a title fight, but that is a trajectory to look at. Gaston, he won one of the few Peruvian fighters in the UFC currently. It was just a decision win, though. Cortavius, he's looking to come back. Gerald Mirashot, he still sucks. And then Neil Magny versus Prates. Fighting nerds, fight on.
Carlos Prates is a unbelievably great fighter.
Pretty scary guy.
He knocks you out. I mean, what are you going to do? He's, what is he, like 21-4, 21-7?
I think he's 6-0 in the UFC.
But like his overall. Because he was in that all other crap that he was in. Yeah. Look up his...
21
okay, yeah, 21-6. Dude's a machine. He hits you and he hits you really hard.
And 4-0 in the UFC, 4 knockouts.
Look at the jaw. Look at that. What? I don't want to say that. Jing Liang?
Oh, Li Ji Liang. Yeah, and that's Korean Zombie.
Yi Jing Liang?
Or that wasn't Korean Zombie. That was the fight.
No, other kid, Lee.
Mm-hmm.
No. Lee was the one he knocked out. Yeah, right there.
He did, and it was rough. It was one of the most one-sided bouts.
It was not fair.
Let's see the fighting nerds.
Not fair at all. Oh my word! What is this 58-yard field goal right here? Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I know you guys are ahead. Oh, Fairbairn, what are you doing? Oh no, Fairbairn Jesse Bates is gonna win this game.
Yeah. A lot of stuff. Kyle, what are we doing here?
Oh, you can hear that?
Yes.
It's called a break, fellas.
The fighting
Who's
nerds
watching?
got
If you're
added
watching,
to
click in the
UFC
sub
5.
chat.
Awesome. But yes, we do have another fight coming up this weekend. Jones versus Miocic. And if you want to know about Stipe, just look up what Uncle Joey has to say about him. Uncle Joey. What the fuck's his last name, Kyle? Diaz.
Huh?
It is a big card. Joey Diaz. He has a lot to say about Stipe.
Joey Diaz. You know, one time me and my mother.
Mickey Gall's on the card. Marcin Tybura is on the card. David Onma is on the card. Lucas Almeida. Jim Miller's on the card. Damon Jackson's on the card. Eric Anders. Chris Weidman. Jonathan Martinez. Marcus McGee. Marcio Ruffy. Women's fight. Bo Nickel versus Paul Craig. Charles Oliveira. Dubrooks. El Champion. And then John Jones versus Stipe. Let's go, Stipe. Plus 450. That may be my bet. I was really good on those bets when I was doing the articles. You're still muted, dipshit.
Let's go, John.
Dummy.
I like John.
Yeah, but that just about does it for UFC. Other stuff coming up. Kyle's talking about boxing. If he wants to talk about it, he can. I'm not going to.
No, I won't. I am watching this. Oh, get a first down. No, he's going to be out of bounds, too. Oh, no, they won't.
So,
they won't call him out of bounds. No, I got a little MLB stuff. It's really small.
Oh,
Yeah, Juan Soto
I
did.
need 4 questions.
You need 4 more questions.
Yep, burn time.
Okay, I will talk a little bit about it. P4, I know you're going to want to try to listen because it's Juan Soto, but please don't
Yep.
because it does matter. Juan Soto did talk to some Royals people, and the reason why he did that, because I think his agent said, here's the thing, you're going to get a lot of money, but you just need to get some outputs from different teams. Talk to the Royals. The Royals are not going to pay Juan Soto the money he deserves. Not going to happen.
No, but
The
might give
only
him,
reason
like, a big
they
letter or something.
they may
Well, if
they
they
may
give him,
say
like, a
you're
big
already in the
check.
Hall of Fame. They say you may already be in the Hall of Fame and you can have ownership with the team. That won't happen. The only reason they do that is because Bobby Witt Jr. is on the team, and a lot of people. But here's the issue, and I'll say this: he's going to the Mets. You want to know why? Because the Mets have a guy who's as good as Bobby Witt Jr. His name is Lindor. Lindor is a shortstop who is a MVP candidate every single season.
Thank you.
He's an MVP candidate every single season, and he's their leadoff hitter, which means Juan Soto can be their number 2 hitter. You get a great player. You have Mark Vientos. Hopefully he can play better. I know it was his rookie year, but a lot of sophomore slumps happen, so don't be surprised if Mark Vientos has a slump. I don't expect him to have a slump. Alex Bregman has been rumored in really small rumors to the Royals, which I would love. I would love. It's not going to happen, though. The Royals are going to pick up like the way the Royals work is they pick a guy that you haven't heard of before, and you go, "Who the hell is this guy?" And they show up and they're good. Like Lucas Ursig. You're like, "Who the hell's Lucas Ursig?" Great player, fits in the Royals system. I mean, it's just how good GMs work. Jack Heglion's a good ball player. Works for the Royals. P4, you still need questions?
Yeah, just a couple more though.
Okay. Well, we can watch the end of this Detroit game. It looks like Detroit's probably going to find a way to get Bates a kick here. It's going to probably be right now it's a 50-yarder at the moment, which he can hit. So
I will overcome today. Kyle.
we have 15 questions, don't we?
No, 10, dummy.
Jesus.
Oh,
fuck.
10, my bad.
It's the same way we've always played it. Remember, he tries to change the rules on us, so we have to establish them before we're going. So, no, Kyle, there's no double point randomness or anything like that. No mystery boxes. Okay? It's just you get the point or you don't get the point.
Dude, the Detroit Lions are
Is
going
what
to win
it
a
is.
football game throwing 5 interceptions. They're going to win a football game throwing 5 interceptions.
That's how it works sometimes, man. It's kind of like the Chiefs, huh? How about them Chiefs?
The Detroit might be better than the Chiefs. I'm not going to lie.
They would be if they still had Jamison Williams. But
How
he's
many
done.
games is he suspended?
I don't know.
How many games? 2?
More than that. It's got to
Two?
be more than that. It's
2?
more than 2.
2. 2?
I don't
2
think
games.
it's 2.
Unless they came out and added more.
Wasn't he had a bunch of car stuff or whatever?
It was gun stuff, which is silly because that gun was legally registered. Detroit's got some they got some wild gun laws, so don't surprise. It's like, don't have a gun. Don't have a gun. Don't have a gun. You're in Detroit, don't have a gun.
What if you need a gun?
Not in Detroit. Don't
Don't show it at least. Don't show it.
It's against the rules.
Unless you have a conceal and carry, dude. Jameis.
You ready?
Almost.
See if they're gonna win this game real quick. Bates.
Hold on, don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Please don't tell me.
I didn't. I know.
52-yarder.
Watch it.
I'm watching.
Wow.
Oh!
Snuck in there for the win.
Squeaked it.
Detroit finds themselves.
They just
at
won the game
8-1.
throwing 5.
Five
They threw 5
interceptions.
interceptions and won a football game. That's impressive, dude. I think if you know what, if Detroit beats Kansas City in the Super Bowl, I'll respect to them. Absolute respect. It would be the coolest story ever.
The underdog of all
I'm ready.
underdogs. All right.
Hold on, give me a second.
Okay, P4, do I have a chance today, or no? Am I absolutely screwed?
That's all up to you. I mean, I don't purposely go out of my way to pick questions that you're not good at.
I think it's.
had-
I think it's
how
just
about
a.
this? I had to pick questions that I knew I had to purposely know that you would be good at for you to even get some right. I was expecting you to go 5 for 5 last week.
I'm not any good. It is what it is. All right. If you don't know the rules, P4 is our host. He's gonna ask us questions. This is the last week. Currently, K-Stel has beaten me 7-5. There's 10 questions on the board. 10 points to be earned. Hopefully, it's not me spinning the wheel. I've set the record. I don't think anybody else has ever spun the wheel except for me. So let's make it somebody else's turn this
I think
time.
Kyle did once. He did it
I
the
did.
first time.
Oh yeah, he did the first
First one.
time.
I was the first. I was
He
the
did
first.
he
dumb.
did the dance-a-thon one, yeah. All right, P4.
All right, starting it off. Number 1, soccer stuff. Big soccer thing happened. Balloon door. Who won it? It's like the Heisman Trophy of soccer, I guess, or something. All right, we got answers.
I have my answer.
PC,
Just
let's
name
see
a
it.
guy. Just name a guy.
I don't even know if I spelled his name right though, but I heard
It doesn't matter.
Howard say this guy's name when I was talking to him when he was saving the penguins in
5,
Madagascar.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Neymar.
Alta Banmari. No, it was Rodri.
No,
Man,
bro.
Oh!
player from Man City.
He has some cool exit TikToks or whatever those are called.
No, no. Probably. They make them about everyone. All right. Some stuff about the Jets. Woody Johnson bought the Jets in 2000. What's his winning percentage as the Jets owner? Closest to the pin. So someone's going to get a point. Unless you guys are terrible.
He bought him in the 70s.
No, in 2000.
Oh, jeez.
In
Since the year
2000?
2000, what's the Jets' winning percentage?
Oh God. And since 2000, huh? That's a lot of games.
I got it. I think it's a pretty good guess.
All right, let's see it.
Got 42%.
42.
Oh, I had to do the percent. I had the number.
What
I was
is
like 170-ish.
230.
Yeah, something like that. So that's like,
Do the math.
let's just put it down to.
That's 73%.
No, it's not.
Oh, no.
230's 300 games. 56.
170.
Wait, no.
No, hold on. I can't do math. I'll just do a percentage here. Here, I'll just.
No, 170.
It's 170.
It's
plus
literally the same as
55.
mine. It's 42%. 42%. It's literally 42%. 170 plus 230.
Yeah, 170 plus 230.
Yeah, it's literally 42%.
42. Well, the answer's 43, so you both get a point.
Oh!
Dude, that was pretty cool, PC. That was insane.
It's
I was like, dude, that sounds like
226.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude. I knew they had won a little bit, but nothing great.
Yeah, they had that late 2000s
Where does
run.
that rank between all 32 NFL teams? So what number in between 1 and 32 would that rank?
From 2000?
Since 2000, what winning percentage? So what ranking would they be in the entire NFL winning percentage?
I don't.
I got my number.
Should be
I
a
think,
number between
dude.
1 and 32. Let's see it.
20.
24.
It is 20.
God
Tied with
damn
the
it,
Cardinals.
bro. Are you fucking
Tied
kidding
with the
me, bro?
Cardinals for 20.
This shit's so dumb.
That's such an unbelievable. I can't even believe I won that. Like
Who's the worst in that range?
Who's the
the
worst?
worst?
team?
Since 2000, lowest win percentage.
I got it.
Let's see if we see.
Okay. Here you go.
Detroit.
Jags.
The Jags. It's the Browns.
Mm.
It's
Idiots.
the Browns.
Obviously. They had 2 winless seasons.
Ugh!
I thought Detroit was a good answer.
I was watching a movie, blah, 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 blah. What's the name of the business that Chris Farley inherited from his father in the movie Tommy Boy?
Oh my gosh. The name of it?
The name of the business that he inherited from his father in the movie
I won't
Tommy
know the
Boy.
name. I know what the business is, and that's what I'm going to answer. I don't know the name. So unless PC knows it,
Let's see it, John. DC. No, turn away,
Something-
Kyle. Turn away, Kyle. Turn away, Kyle.
it's not going to be the right answer. I said something with cars.
PC, what's your answer?
Like Scotch oil or something like that.
Callahan Auto Parts.
God damn it, bro. This shit sucks. Why did I even come up with this stupid fucking
That was
game?
That was a dumb question. I'm not going to lie.
What?
It's all good.
Who leads the NFL in fantasy points? What player? Or defense special teams? Should just be the name of a player. 10, 9, 8, 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's see it, gentlemen.
Crazy pick Minnesota defense.
Jamar Chase.
It's Lamar Jackson. Jamar Chase is number 2.
Dang!
I honestly,
Or he might have been number
I
3
have
behind
Minnesota.
Derrick Henry.
Forgot Lamar Jackson was just the next MVP.
He's pretty good. He has 258 points. We ready for the next question? Number
Yup.
7, right? NCAA football. Who leads Division 1 in passing yards
This season,
this season?
as a team, I guess as a team,
As a fucking player.
Passing yards. Yeah, I don't know. It's my best guess.
We ready?
Yep.
Let's see
Yeah.
it.
I got Jackson Dart.
Ewers.
Darts number 2. Cam Ward's number 1.
Oh, I wanted to pick Cam Ward.
Ewers was out for like 3 games.
I know.
I was literally like cam board.
All right, if
And
I
I was
don't,
like, maybe
Kyle's got
Jets.
to miss all 3, and I've got to make all 3 to beat him.
Number 8. I was watching a movie, blah, 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 blah. Who was Bob De Niro's love interest in the movie Casino?
Never even seen the movie.
Either
The name of the
movie or the actress will do.
Oh my word! I mean, I said an alcoholic bitch. I said an alcoholic
Sharon Stone.
bitch.
She went by the name of Ginger.
You know what?
Ginger.
2 more questions.
There's not any. I'm not even
No,
playing anymore. I lost.
No, he gave.
Don't
he
even
gave
need
up.
to play
He gave up.
anymore. Don't even need to
Dukes
play
leading
anymore.
scorer. Dukes
What was
leading
it?
scorer, Kyle.
Gives a fuck.
I'm gonna say Cooper Flag.
Con Canoopel.
What's the
Big X
10th?
the Plug's new album came out. What's the name
Yep.
of it?
My whiteboard's broken.
You know what? It.
It's like broken now. It was already broken. Now
Take
it's
Care?
already broken.
Take Care. It's pretty good. I'd give it a
Oh. Isn't that a Drake album? Am I stupid?
No, it's a song.
Yeah, it's a song.
All right, we can do everybody's
Spin it.
favorite part because, since I'm terrible at this game, we'll see what
Oh my word!
lucky thing
Is
I
this
get to
3 in
do
a row
this
for
week.
him?
It's like 3 or 4. Oh, great.
Not
No!
so far off. We have to get him on the pod. We have to get him on the
Yeah,
pod.
we have to
for
get
when
it. We
you
have
do
to get him on the pod.
He has to do a whole episode with you.
Yeah, we have to get Ethan Crandall on the pod.
Oh, my God.
If you guys don't know who
That's-
Ethan Crandall is, Yankees fan, Cowboys fan.
In our fantasy football
just an
league, just an absolute dweeb. Person you don't want to be replicating. That's my 4th loss in a row. We'll be back next week playing Smart or Dumb. P4 says he has nothing to worry about. He probably doesn't.
we fellas, and I will say it. We'll go. Actually, we'll just go through the rounds of.
Yeah, final words. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Do your final words. Since,
My
tired of
final
this game.
words is
Whoa,
sports
who?
are.
K-Stel.
Kyle?
Yeah, K-Stel.
A couple things. Sports are awesome. I'm loving college basketball. I love it when it comes back. Another thing, I think me and P4 were talking about. I think I'm trying to. I mean, PC's gonna be. He's good with whatever. I think. We talked to Howard a little bit. Tried to figure out what Howard's schedule is. We may be trying to figure out if we can move this podcast to another date.
As of right now, it's
Howard's
Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, Saturday and Sunday for Howard is Monday and Tuesday.
Wait, you don't have to tell his fucking schedule. That's not what this is about.
We
let
may be
them
trying to
know what
move.
time
We
it is,
we'll
you
be in
fucking
talks
dipshit.
if we may be in
Right
talks
now
of
it's
trying
Sunday.
to move. It's Sundays right now, but we love Howard. We love having Howard on the podcast. It also makes for great smarter dumb questions and stuff like that.
I can
Competition's a
pull.
little
I
bit
can
better.
listen. Just because I've lost 4 in a row now doesn't mean I can't come back. Okay, I'm gonna come back better. Whatever.
No. But it's more about Howard just being on the podcast and him just giving his takes. Because Howard will have 90% level-headed takes, and then his 10% other takes are just the craziest things you've ever heard in your life. So we may talk about it. It probably will be a lot more talking to see if he can actually.
Kyle, is
'Cause,
this
like,
a
moving-
meeting,
'cause-
or is this the fucking podcast right now?
It's both right now. All right, trucker hat boy.
You get a nice cut though. Are you gonna end? Is that how you're ending your curtain call?
Yeah, that's my ending. Good night. Good night. Good night, everyone. Good night, folks. Good night, folks.
Oh, taking the main man from
See
way
ya,
out
folks.
west. Anything you
Bye,
got,
folks.
P4? That's it?
That's it.
Goodbye, folks. Okay. You'll see me act like Ethan Crandall next week. We'll try to get him on the pod. Like, subscribe. Thanks for hanging out with us. And we'll see you guys.